Bear down, Bears fans. Welcome into another edition of the Chicago Bears Breeze. On today's episode, Khalil Herbert down, and that could be massive moving forward. Who's going to step in? The issues at the running back position that the Chicago Bears face right now. All that and more on today's episode of the Chicago Bears Breeze. Let's go. If you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel, the only channel talking Bears, how Bears fans talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Of course, we got Stephon in the building on this one.
Yo,
listen. Tough news. Khalil Herbert, per Tom Pelissero, is expected to miss multiple weeks because of the ankle injury he suffered Thursday night against the Commanders. We saw him go back out there, try to go after it, go down hard, and not be able to get back up and have to just basically limp to the sidelines. Roschon Johnson also dealing with concussion. Travis Homer dealing with a hamstring. It could be D'Onta Foreman time in Chicago. How big a blow is this to the Chicago Bears? That is the question on the table. Steph, I mean, you're the king of run the football. What are your thoughts on what we see with Khalil Herbert possibly missing time?
Yeah, so I mean, my thoughts on it is basically just I'm hurting for him, right? Because I mean, if we think about it, he said that he wanted those touches. He wanted to be the lead back, and for all intents and purposes, these last 2 weeks we've seen the offense come alive, and he's actually ran the football very exceptionally up until that point. Yep. Now, if you look at the rest of the room, I mean, they pretty much had to rely on Blasingame for the majority of the carries in that I want to say late third, fourth quarter ish. You were wondering who's going to step in. I actually appreciate Herbert for giving it a go, but when you look at the rest of the room, right? I mean, you got the 10 days off, so. Because Roschon Johnson may come back
dealing with concussion.
Yeah, he may
get back. Yes.
He may be able to come back with the concussion protocol. But then after that, I'm excited to see what a room of Roschon and D'Onta Foreman can do, because at the end of the day, it's all about wearing these guys down, and being able to sustain these long drives, which like we said before, these last 2 weeks they've pretty much been able to do. So I'm excited to see what they can do. I don't think it's too much of a blow, but I think that this does hurt Khalil in a way, because you just started to see him get going.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Khalil Herbert was the guy who you thought was going to be able to have this breakout year, who's been talking about this and finally started to show it 2 weeks in, right? Like, I had talked about him as being replaced, right, by week 4.
Yeah.
Because I just thought Roschon Johnson was going to get those touches. Now, like you said, in the concussion protocol with 10 days, very rarely on a 7-day stretch are you going to see a guy in concussion protocol be able to get back. In 10 days, maybe you'll be able to get back into the fold. Because of that, he's not going to have a ton of practice time in that situation. And maybe that's for the best, because you now have to be forced into putting D'Onta Foreman as the starter in this situation. He's going to start off practicing most of the week probably. But realistically speaking, we haven't seen D'Onta Foreman. He's been a healthy scratch for pretty much the entire season. And it's been a question mark why. But at the end of the day, now you see you have no choice but to go to him. It's a next man up mentality. I want to see if D'Onta Foreman's ready to go. From what I've heard, D'Onta Foreman has been kind of dejected on the sidelines. Hasn't really been a big part of the when the offense has been cooking, the celebrations and different things like that. It doesn't mean that, listen, I'm inactive, right? Like, it doesn't mean that he's not a let's go out here and get it type of guy. But if I'm inactive, I'm chilling. They're not going to use me. There's no chance for me to get in this game. There's no point.
Yeah, I'll be feeling the same way.
And realistically, right? Like, it's not like he's been a lifelong member of this team. He got here 6 months ago, if that, right? 4 months ago, maybe something like that. So I'm not sitting here holding any of that against him. All I'm saying is I do want to see how he's going to come out and show out with this offense. Now, you have to establish this running game. The two things that have been the mainstay of this offense for the last 2 weeks have been Luke Getsy being able to go out there and scheme these runs up. Deontay Foreman, somebody who can hit the hole up the middle and absolutely take off. And I do think there's a chance for Roschon Johnson to be able to get back if Travis Homer is not able to get back, right? There is a question mark. They're both ailing, but we'll see kind of what that ends up being. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. We'll be down there talking with you as well. How big a blow is this going to be for the Chicago Bears? Here's the real question, though. How big a blow is this going to be for Khalil Herbert? You brought that up, right? Realistically speaking, Herbert finally started to cook in this offense. And this is a production-based league. If Deontay Foreman and or Roschon Johnson come back, right? We're talking about multiple weeks here for Khalil Herbert. You know how I feel about the running back room, right?
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert's replaceable.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I love what he's done he's replaceable.
Yeah.
Right. Like if Roschon starts running the football, well, that instance. But what do you think that means for Khalil Herbert moving forward? Could this be if we see Foreman and or Roschon start to cook? Now we see Khalil Herbert possibly on the inactive list.
I think when it comes down to it, if you're giving me if you're giving me the option between Roschon Johnson or Deontay Foreman, I'm gonna go Roschon because I mean at the end of the day, the question wasn't about could Khalil Herbert be a RB1.
Yeah.
It was about his blocking.
Yeah.
It was about his blocking,
and his running has been elite, but the
hasn't been good. The running has been elite, but the blocking is still where it was as of last season. Now, if Roschon comes back, and you're talking about multiple weeks, so we'll say 3. If he comes back multiple weeks and you give me 80 plus,
yeah,
for the next 3 weeks, which I mean, judging by the next 2 defenses that you're going to see,
you should be able to.
You should be able to run the football.
We got the Raiders. I'm not too concerned about being able to move the football forward.
Yeah.
I think the concern is the backfield. Are you going to have enough bodies in it, right?
I think that's going to be the question, but. I mean, also, right? He's a phenomenal blocker. Roschon is a phenomenal blocker. He is. I mean, like you said, it's a production-based league. Next man up, and I'm sorry to tell you, if he cooks, I mean, you might be seeing Khalil on the back seat.
And I think the one thing that has saved Khalil is the Chicago Bears going a lot more 13 personnel, 12 personnel. Right? I'm putting tight ends there to help me block. There's a lot less times where guys are in the backfield and you have to be the blocker. I actually like that. In this sense, I want the offense to continue doing that.
Please do.
There is some semblance of, if you have Roschon back there, he can block as well. Deontay Foreman, kind of the same thing. Maybe not as good of a blocker as Roschon is right now, and you expect Roschon to be together. But realistically speaking, that's a pie in the sky scenario right now. You're rolling with Deontay, and I think Deontay is going to get most of the snaps. You're probably talking about at least 10 days. And you have a very different offensive line in there because Lucas Patrick also in the concussion protocol right now. Remember, he went out with a concussion as well. So Cody Whitehair at center.
Absolutely.
Tevin Jenkins is back in the fold. Whatever you're doing at left guard, Larry Borum's kind of been a little bit up and down there. He kind of got it together late in that game. Right side of the line, Darnell Wright, Nate Davis has held up for the most part, at least these last couple of weeks. I do think there's something to be said about the offensive line that you have in front of you. But the scheme that we've seen this team put together, I think has been elite, and I do like that. And I think that, dare I say, I actually feel good about, at least since the conversations and going public and saying I want to play more freely, about Luke Getsy and Simo and all of these guys being able to go out there and scheme for what this Vikings defense is going to do. Vikings defense right now that it technically has the Patriots down, or the Chiefs down 10-13 if you're watching at this moment, but that could all change in an instant. So, hey, we do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let us know in the comments below. Be down there talking with you as well. How big a blow is it to Khalil Herbert, to the Chicago Bears, that Khalil Herbert's going to miss multiple weeks? We'll be live tomorrow talking about this a little bit more in depth on the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily, where we talk Bears, Bulls, national sports, all of that 5 days a week. Tune in with us over there as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again, joined by Stephon the Don. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.
Peace.